Hey guys, and welcome to this Christmas cook and bake with me. I'm so excited to be sharing with you this night that I spent with friends for Friendsmas. It was so fun. I cooked a whole dinner for everybody and I did dessert. Let's just get started. I'm going to be making a chuck roast that I will be slow cooking throughout the day. So here I am just preparing the seasonings. I'm using some garlic and onion powder, some paprika, and some chili powder. And I'm also using some light brown sugar, and I will be rubbing that into the roast to season it. I will have the recipe linked down below for you guys. So if you guys want to follow this recipe and try it out for yourselves, that will be available in the description. After I combine all of the seasonings, I'm just going to be patting the meat dry with a paper towel, and then I will be rubbing in the seasoning. I'm also going to be browning all of the edges of the roast on a skillet on medium to high heat. I just brown the edges for 2 to 3 minutes, and then I will be putting it into the crock pot. I'm then going to be preparing the gravy, so I use chicken broth, beef bouillon seasoning, and a couple of other spices. Before I throw that into the crock pot, I'm going to be putting it into the skillet that I cooked the meat in just to absorb the extra flavors from that. And then I will be adding in some potatoes and carrots that I sliced up. I wanted to do this recipe because we did have some friends coming over. So I wanted to make a really nice meal for them that was very balanced. And I wanted to make something that was going to be very crowd pleasing. I had never made this before, but this recipe had a lot of good reviews and it looked very good. So I wanted to give it a try. As I was cooking, we were also getting the house ready. We were cleaning. We were just getting everything prepared for the guests coming over later. We wanted to really wow them and just have a great night with friends to celebrate the holidays. Here's what the roast looks like before I started the cooking process. I just have it sitting in the gravy here, and then I will be surrounding it with the potatoes and carrots that I chopped up. This will cook for about 6 hours on high. And by the time that this was done, the meat was nice and tender and it cooked perfectly within this time window. The next recipe I'm going to be making is a Christmas vanilla cake roll. This is a cake roll with buttercream frosting and Christmas colored sprinkles, as well as a white chocolate icing on top. So here I am just putting in some ingredients into this mixing bowl. I'm just doing some eggs, and it also called for some egg yolks as well. So I'm just going ahead and separating those. I'm going to be beating that with some sugar until it turns into a thick batter. And then I will be adding the rest of the ingredients. So you guys will see what I add to this. And I will play some relaxing music for you guys to follow along the recipe too. Now that the batter is ready, I'm going to be pouring it onto this parchment paper lined baking sheet. This is what's going to make the sheet of cake that will be rolled with the icing later on. So I'm just making sure to spread the layer of cake batter evenly into a nice even rectangle. And then I will be putting this in the oven at 450 for about 6 minutes. When it came out of the oven, I did notice that it was a little bit brown, and it did have a crispy edge, which I was a little bit upset about, but it wasn't a big deal, and the roll actually did turn out good, even despite its little imperfection. So I just coated the roll with some powdered sugar once I brought it out of the oven. I then flipped the sheet of cake onto a dish towel here. This was just a clean dish towel that I had, and it was a very thin cloth as well. I peeled back the parchment paper, which I had to be very careful not to tear the cake, but eventually it did come off in a clean swipe. I coated the other side of the cake with some powdered sugar as well. and then I rolled up the sheet of cake as it was warm with the towel. I did my best to keep it as tight as possible, and I just let it cool on a cooling rack for a couple of minutes while I prepared the buttercream frosting that will go on the inside of the roll. The vanilla frosting for the inside of the roll was super easy. I just put 2 sticks of room temperature butter into a mixing bowl, and I just mixed that with an electric mixer for a couple of minutes just to soften it up. And then I added 3 cups of powdered sugar, and I did this half a cup at a time. That way the powdered sugar was mixed in evenly and it wasn't just a huge clump of dry ingredients. This made for a very creamy, light, fluffy, and delicious frosting. And I also added some more sprinkles to this as well. There were no more sprinkles in several grocery stores that I checked, so I had to use sprinkles from a frosting container. After I had mixed together the powdered sugar and the butter, I also added some heavy whipping cream. This just helped lighten the frosting consistency. After I added the heavy whipping cream, I just folded in the sprinkles and the frosting was ready to be added to the roll. So what I did was I unraveled the dish towel that the cake was rolled up in, and I spread the icing evenly on the sheet of cake. I made sure to get it to each of the edges and make sure it was a nice even layer. And once I was done with this, I folded up the cake lengthwise to make a swirl. This was actually a pretty tricky process because I really wanted to make the roll as tight as possible, but it was very difficult. But I did my best and it turned out good in the end, so I was happy with what I tried out. In this next part of the video, I'm just going to be getting ready for when the guests come over. So as you can see, I've changed into this Christmas themed outfit. I just wore this red long sleeve top, a silver necklace with a heart that was gifted to me. I wore a Christmas colored plaid skirt, some black tights, and some black thigh-high boots. This was such a cute outfit for this Friendsmas, and I was so excited at this point for the guests to come over. My heart was racing, and I was really hoping that everybody was going to like the cooking and we would have a good time talking and playing games. So here I am just doing my makeup. You guys have seen me do my makeup before. It's the same routine. I just apply some concealer, I apply some full coverage foundation, as well as some setting powder. And then I'm also going to be applying a light dusting of some blush on my cheeks. I'm going to be combing through my eyebrows with this little brush, as well as applying some mascara. And then I'm going to be applying a bold red lip. I'm also going to be using some new eyeshadows in this video. So I got these at Walmart and they just have a variety of different colors. I bought 2 palettes. They were each around $5 or $6 and they are based off of the cereals Fruity Pebbles and Lucky Charms. I thought these were so cute and they provided me with a lot of different color options that I could use for different holidays or occasions. But I mostly chose these palettes because they have red and green, which I thought would be perfect for a Christmas party. So I decided to go with some of the red shades, applied a lighter red to my lid and a darker red to my crease and outer corner. And I just kept it simple, just with a bright pop of color to complete the makeup look. Lastly, it was time to style my hair. So my hair had been up in a bun for the majority of the day, so it had these nice voluminous curls already. So I just needed to spray it with some Tresemme extra hold hairspray and then run my fingers through some of the pieces. And I just retouched my red lipstick here, and here I am ready to go for the night. Once I was ready with my Christmas outfit and my makeup and hair was completed, I just made sure the table was set and just all of the final touches were completed before the guests arrived. guys, so this is how everything turned out. Everybody loved the meal. They said it tasted amazing, and we just had a great time talking. We played a card game, and we really just had a very fun and enjoyable Friendsmas. Here I am just cutting up the Christmas vanilla cake roll. Look how pretty it turned out. The one thing I would change is not adding so much icing and making the roll a little bit tighter, but nonetheless, it turned out really good. I also coated the outside of the roll with some melted white chocolate and some more sprinkles, and that just added an extra layer to the flavors of the cake. I really enjoyed sharing this night with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the cooking and the baking and some of the holiday festivities that we did on this evening. I hope everyone is doing well and enjoying the holidays, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video.